Zhu Jingming froze for a moment, realizing that the person in front of her was the young man she had met a week ago, but his rank was only level 2 high tier. Her expression changed instantly, and she shouted in panic, "Run! That's a level 3 low tier earth armored dragon. You can't possibly beat it." However, the young man ahead of her didn't seem to hear anything. He just stood there motionless. Why won't he listen? Zhu Jingming stamped her foot in frustration. It didn't matter if she died here, but she couldn't drag an innocent person down with her. She gathered all her courage, stepped forward to stand in front of Zhu Jingming, and shouted, "Run, I'll hold it off." She dashed straight toward the earth-armored dragon, ready to fight it with everything she had. But the moment the monster roared, the sheer force of that sound froze her in place. Her body trembled uncontrollably. She couldn't even move forward another step. Then suddenly, a deafening boom like thunder exploded from behind her. Zhu Jingming's entire body was wrapped in a terrifying. A surge of lightning erupted. His right hand clenched around a purple bolt of electricity drawn from the air. A powerful voice, as if descending from the heavens themselves, roared out, "Thunder Spear." In an instant, the violet blue lightning surrounding him gathered together, forming a spear made entirely of thunder and light. The spear was hurled with blinding speed, piercing straight into the massive eye of the earth-armored dragon. The monster let out a scream of agony, thrashing wildly as if it wanted to crush the fool who dared to challenge it. But a heartbeat later, the lightning spear embedded in its eye exploded violently. Boom! The ground shook as arcs of electricity danced madly through the air. Blood and milky fluids splattered everywhere as the colossal creature collapsed right before Jiang Sui. What? The earth-armored dragon was killed? Just like that. Jiang Sui's eyes widened in disbelief at the sight before her. Everything had happened so fast. Even though the creature's eye was indeed its weak point, almost no one could ever strike it. It constantly guarded itself, and its speed was terrifying. Just a slight movement was enough to dodge any fatal blow. Yet that young man's thunder spear had been so fast that the monster didn't even have time to react. Such power. That's insane. The explosion earlier definitely wasn't her imagination. But how could someone who was only a level 2 high tier be this strong? At that moment, Xing Ming's system voice rang out in his mind. You have slain a level 3 low tier earth-armored dragon. Gain 36 ability points. Hearing the notification, Xing Ming raised an eyebrow slightly. As expected of a monster with dragon in its name, the rewards are even higher than a level 3 high tier beast. He then turned toward her. You okay? He asked. Jiang Sui blushed slightly. I'm fine. My legs are just a little weak. Thank you for saving the wild old thing. It's nothing. Anyone else in my position would have done the same. I would have done the same in your place. With those words, he extended a hand to help her to her feet. She looked at him and offered a soft smile. My name is Jiang Sui. You saved my life. I don't know how I can ever repay you. If there's anything you need in the future, just let me know. Zhu Jingming chuckled in response. No need for anything serious, but if it's possible, could I get a signed photo of you? That would be great. He made the request with his friend, Lu Wendao, in mind, who was a huge fan of Jiang Sui and had always dreamed of getting her autograph. Jiang Sui blinked, surprised by the simplicity of his request. She had anticipated a much more significant demand. I don't have any photos with me right now, she said with a gentle smile. But once we're back at the supply station, I'll be happy to sign one for you. Her eyes then fell upon the school emblem engraved on Zhu Jingming's weapon. A look of surprise crossed her face as she asked, You're from Modu University of Supernatural Abilities. Zhu Jingming nodded in confirmation. That's right. It was a gift from my mentor. Do you recognize this spear? Zhu spelled. Of course it's quite famous among ability users at level 1 or 2. It's far too heavy. And once you reach level 3 or higher, you usually switch to grade C weapons or above. That's what makes this spear so unique. She tucked a strand of her silver hair behind her ear and said cheerfully, Let me introduce myself properly. I'm Jiang Shui, a sophomore in Class 3 of the Ice Element Division at the Elemental Academy. Nice to meet you, senior. Deep down, she couldn't help but think, that's strange. I've never heard his name mentioned around campus before. He must be one of those overly modest types. Zhu Jingming was momentarily taken aback when she called him senior, but after a brief thought, he found it reasonable. At Modu University, most students didn't reach the high tier of level 2 until their junior year. In any case, seeing how much she admired him, Zhu Jingming decided it was harmless to let her misunderstanding continue. So he smiled and said, Nice to meet you, too. Hearing him say that made Jiang Shui visibly brighten, her smile blooming like sunlight. Senior Jing, you're incredible. That earth-armored dragon may have only been a low-tier level 3, but its power wasn't far from a high-tier beast, and you killed it in a single strike. That's insane. They chatted for a while longer before Xu Jingming mentioned he had to leave. Seeing that, Jiang Shui quickly spoke up, her voice tinged with hesitation. You're leaving already. Would it be okay if I came along with you for a bit? I got separated from my security team, and if I run into another high-level monster alone, I probably won't make it back. Xu Jingming frowned slightly, thought for a moment, then nodded. Alright, I'll take you as far as the city ruins. From there, you should be able to find your way back safely. Thank you so much, Jiang Shui said with a smile as radiant as a blooming flower. Then, curiosity sparkled in her eyes. Oh, right. Do you want to check out the earth-armored dragon's nest? I'm sure there's something valuable inside. Otherwise, the thing wouldn't have been chasing me so crazily. Her reasoning made sense, so Xu Jingming nodded in agreement. As they walked, Jiang Shui chatted non-stop. The female version of Lu Wentao. Really? So, Senior Xu Jingming, which academy are you from? The Weaponry Academy, Xu Jingming replied simply. Jiang Shui's eyes lit up. Ah, I know that one. Your dean is Yongshan, right? I heard he's terrifying. People even call him Ikinyama Yom. Is that true? Xu Jingming only smiled faintly. He's my teacher. Jiang Sui froze, her face turning crimson. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Her flustered expression caught Xu Jingming off guard. Online, Jiang Sui was known for her confident, decisive demeanor. One strike, one kill. Combined with her long silver hair and ice element abilities, she was the very image of a cold, powerful goddess. But right now, she was just an adorably awkward girl, shattering non-stop. Compared to Lu Wentao, Xu Jingming found her talkative nature surprisingly pleasant, especially when the speaker was such a stunning beauty. After walking through the dense forest for 4 or 5 minutes, a massive cave entrance nearly 3 or 4 stories tall came into view. Jiang Sui pointed ahead excitedly. Senior Xu Jingming, that's it. That's the cave. Before stepping inside, Xu Jingming cautioned her, be careful. There could still be danger inside. Stay behind me. As soon as they stepped inside, Jiang Sui caught a sweet, delicate scent. Looking down at the ground, both of them froze in astonishment. The place was covered with grade D white spirit herb, grade B blazing bloom, and grade C sleep fruit, nothing but rare medicinal herbs. Jiang Sui was about to say something when her eyes suddenly widened, and she blurted out, it's Stilling Spring, grades, oh my god, this is a sacred healing elixir that can restore nearly all injuries for ability users below level 4. Seeing Xu Jingming still a bit skeptical, she hurried to explain, I'm not wrong. Stilling Spring seeps into the surrounding plants and mutates them into miraculous herbs. That unique fragrance is unmistakable. Trust me, I have a level 2 apothecary certificate. Hearing that, Xu Jingming praised her. You're a top student, too. I've heard a level 2 apothecary certificate is really hard to get. Jiang Sui smiled brightly at the compliment. You flatter me, Senior Jiang. And this Stilling Spring should yield at least 5 portions of Grade's healing extract. All of this is yours. Xu Jingming shook his head and smiled. No need. I'll take 4 portions, and you take 1. As for the strange flowers and herbs around here, we'll split them evenly. Hearing that, Jiang Sui gave a small, admiring smile. She respected Xu Jingming even more. He was strong and fair-minded. Just then, footsteps sounded at the cave's mouth. A man's voice called out, Captain, there isn't a single monster in this cave. There shouldn't be anything valuable either. But Captain Wang replied in a low voice, not so fast. From the traces around here, this very well could be the lair of a level 3 earth-armored dragon. Dragon nests usually hold treasures. At the sound of voices, Jiang Sui immediately recognized the protection team she had hired. Inwardly, she was filled with anxiety. This is bad. If they find the Great Stilling Spring, even though they were my bodyguards, things could get extremely complicated. Seeing Jiang Sui, Captain Wang smiled and said, Miss Jiang, we've been searching everywhere for you. I didn't expect to find you here. Someone in the team also recognized Xu Jingming. Isn't this the guy we met before? Jiang Sui quickly explained, he's a schoolmate of mine. We ran into each other on the road and talked for a bit. Oh, there are a lot of precious herbs further in. Why don't we all split them? Everyone gets a share. Captain Wang chuckled. Is that so? Well, then thank you, Miss Chang. But at that moment, another team member squinted and said, Captain, something's wrong. That pool over there looks like Dling Spring. Grades, the ultimate healing elixir. The moment the words grades were spoken, greed lit up their eyes. Jiang Sui panicked inwardly. It's over. The mere mention of a grades resource changed the entire atmosphere. A murderous aura began to emanate from Captain Wong. His face went cold, and his voice dropped. Looks like the two of you haven't been honest with us, have you? Sensing danger, Jiang Sui grabbed Xu Jingming's hand and stammered, then take the Dling Spring, and all the herbs. It's yours. Let's go. Okay. But after tugging at him for a moment, she realized Xu Jingming had no intention of leaving. She whispered urgently, Senior Jing, they're all peak level 3 ability users. We can't fight them. Xu Jingming replied calmly, peak level 3? Oh. I don't think I'm weaker than them. Besides, even if we handed everything over, do you really think they'd spare us? At that, Captain Wong laughed loudly. This kid talks big, but he's not wrong. Miss Zhang is a famous streamer. If she posts a few complaints and a confessional article, our careers would be finished. He smiled coldly, his eyes full of killing intent. Killing the two of them right here would be the best choice.